Mä oon striimata paskaa. Ja en mä tiedä mitä mä meinasin sanoa tällä, mutta... Mulla on vitun tylsää. Mulla on tällaisen vitun paskan striimi, mikä tulee olemaan vitun pitkä varmaan. Ja ihan vitun tylsä. Ei kannatais katsoa, vaan... Ja, tää on vaan niinku... Allahu Akbar. Muistelisin, että tää on tehty 2016. Yeah! Muistin! No vitun MB-koineja saa ihan saatanan hitaasti. Siis ihan vitun hitaasti. Niin, niin mun pitäis niinku keksiä jotain tekemistä, kun mä... Tiedätkö, kun mä oon pelaillut... Tai siis kun mä oon niinku pelannut eniten mun... Siis niinku, mä oon vitun pelaaja... Gamer, oh my god, Sigma gamer, vittu, joo, ja hiljaa. Niin siis mä oon pelannut niin paljon elämässä, että niinku Call of Dutyt ja kaikki tällaiset PvP-pelit jotenkin, mä en niinku enää tykkää niistä niin paljon, tiedätkö? Kun se tuntuu niinku siltä, että niissä ei voi niinku jotenkin pitää hauskaa. Siis kun se on sellaista tylsää semmoista, että sä vaan kuolet jollekin, jonka nimi on vittu IL tai joku vitun gamer-xanax, vittu XXX tentacle. Oh my god, white trash, vittu ihan vittu joku, minä olen Mountain Dew, Neon MLG Sniper. Ja sit ne vaan vittu flikkailee sua mapin toiselta puolelta, tai ne on niitä saatana John Wickejä, mitkä slaidailee ja hyppii, tiedätkö, ihan vittu niinku kaikkialla. Silleen niinku... Kun mä kaipaan niinku sellaista realistisuutta tavallaan mun peleissä. Mä en halua, että kaikki hyppii joku vitun aasi. Ei aasit hypi, mut ettei kaikki hypi niinku pupu. Joku vitun pupu. Joku jänönen, joku vitun jänis. Se on ihan perseestä mun mielestä. Insurgency Sandstorm on tällä hetkellä, mä oon sitä pelaillut. Mut se tässä on niinku sellainen... Se keskittyy vaan taisteluun. Mikä on silleen kivaa, niin voi niinku tehdäkin ja... Niinku tapella. Siinä ei tarvii niinku lootata esimerkiksi niinku Battle Royale-pelit, ne on ihan paskaa. Battle Royale-pelit on niinku ihan saisse. Mä en tykkää niistä ollenkaan. Niin siis kun pitäis olla joku sellainen niinku DayZan tyylinen peli. Mut kun ei ole konsolilla DayZan tyylistä peliä. DayZ oikealla modella, se on ihan vitun hyvä peli. Siinä on makeita drippejä, siinä on niinku... Se on nice. Mutta niin, siis niinku kaikki Call of Duty ja Battlefieldit, niin jotenkin mä en enää niinku nautin niistä niin paljon, mitä mä ennen nautin. Tiedätkö, kun on nuoria, vittu, sellainen teini, ei oo mitään muuta, koulun jälkeen heti kun tulee kotiin, niin saman tien vittu pelata, ihan saman tien. Ei tehdä ruokaa, ei pestä pyykkiä, ei mitään. Eikä kiinnostakaan oikein mikään muu kuin pelaaminen, tai mulla oli. Ei mulla ollut niinku kavereita. Se kuulostaa surulliselta, nyhky, joo, ei vaan mitään. Ei ollut kavereita, niin mä pelasin vaan ihan vitun paljon, niin mä olin aina hyvä. Tai edes niinku decent kaikissa peleissä, mitä mä pelasin. Mut nykyään kun on muutakin, kyllä mä siis vieläkin pelaan, mutta jotenkin siitä on ilo lähtenyt, kun pitää tehdä muitakin asioita ja... Se ei tavallaan oo niinku... Pitäis niinku liikkua ja on kaikkea stressattavaa. Kaikki niinku, you know, stressaa kaikki asiat ja... Ynnä muuta paskaa. Niin... Jotenkin se ei enää ole niin kivaa. Varsinkin sitten noi PvP-pelit, kun mun ei tee mieli pelata niitä, koska mulla aina niinku... Mua ärsyttää se, että jos sinne tulee joku tryhardi. Mua ei haittaa kuolla. Se ei haittaa mua niinku yhtään, että joku tappaa, mutta se on niinku fair game. Ei mennyt hyvin vaikka sillä kerralla. Mutta Mutta sitten se tuleeko sellainen, minä olen Jänönen, joka hyppii vittu laidasta laitaan, niin mä alkaa vituttaa se, kun eikä niillä ole mitään muuta tekemistä kuin vaan hyppiä ja slaidailla ja olla joku saatana demijumala siellä vitun siinä matsissa. Se on niinku tylsää mun mielestä. Ei niitä mielestä tylsää. Totta kai se pitää sitä voittaa, mutta kun se menee niin mun mielestä yli se, että sit ollaan tollasia niinku dedikeitetaan koko elämä jollekin saatanan yhdelle pelille ja saat joku 1000 leveli siinä. Niin mua ärsyttää tollanen. Kun mä oon sellainen kasuaalinen pelaaja, mä tykkään nauttia peleistä. Ne ei ole mitään vitun kilpailuja mulle. Ne on hauskan pitoa pelit. Mutta sit sinne vaan mahtuu kaikkea esim. Vittu Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, niin sinne vaan mahtuu niitä vitun tryhardeja. Niin ne tappaa niinku sen pelin mulle. Mä en niinku tykkää pelata sitä yhtä paljon. Siellä on niitä tryhardeja. Niinku... Kun mä oon sellainen, että mä tykkään käyttää kaikkia vaikka vähän hassun näköistä asetta tai vaikka asetta mikä ei oo paras ase. Mutta kun sitten on niitä, mitkä on silleen, että pitää olla täydellinen competitive advantage ja pitää olla paras ase, vittu. Minä käytän parasta asetta ja se on niin vitun tylsää. Mä en ymmärrä, miten ihmiset vittu jaksaa. Kaikki GTA tryhardit ja ynnä muuta, niin vittu, mä kysyn teiltä sen, että mikä vittu siinä on hauskaa. Siis se on ihan vitun tylsää. Joo, totta kai sä voitat aina, mutta mitä vittu siinä aina... Mikä siinä on hauskaa, jos sä voitat aina ja sulla on joku tylsä paras ase aina käytössä. Se on niinku maailman tylsin tapa pelata, siis oikeesti. Ainakin jos minulta kysytään, se on niinku niin vitun leimi. Mä vaan haluun nauttia videopeleistä. Niinku, se on niinku sitä vapaa-aikaa, saa tehdä kaikkea kivaa juttuja. Tarkkaanpa. Mut niin, niinku just se, että minä olen vittu Rose-pelaaja ja ei pelaa niinku... Lähteekö henki? Jep, nyt lähtee henki. Run! Hei! Miten nää ampuu savun läpi? Hei, häh? Siinä on savua! Mitä vittua? Miten se sen läpi vittu voi ampua? Onks niillä NVGt vai? Miten ne näkee ton läpi? Oi vittu! Lunta tulee! Niin, mä nyt ajattelin, että mä lataan RDR2. Ja What? Mitä ne teistä mä oon tässä? No, kumminkin. Mä lataan RDR2. Ja siis sehän on ihan vitun kuollut peli, kun ne ei vaan jostain syystä ne ei enää... No mitä? Homo! What? What the fuck? Ne on jotkut niinku X-ray gogglesit näköjään. Miten ne ties, että mä oon täällä? Mitä? Häh? Mä en vittu näe mitään. Siitä vittu kohtaa. No vittu, aina kun mä oon sanomassa jotain, niin joku vammanen tulee. No niin. Tämän takia sniperi kannattaisi aina käyttää, mutta mä ärsyttää, kun se on niin... Mä ärsyttää vaan, kun se on niin vitun iso, niin se näyttää tyhmältä tässä mun tyypin niinku selässä. Kun se on sellainen vitu anti-tank rifle. Haista. No haista! No mitä? Onko vähän hyvä aim? Näköjään. Voi vittu. Aina pitäis olla sniper rifle. Tarkkuuskivääri, aina mukana pitäis olla. Ja varmaan kuolen, kun mulla ei oo sitä tarkkuuskivääriä mukana. Aha, niillä on vittu joku anti-arvitus. Vii vittu. Häh? Miss? What the fuck? Where? Siellä. Oh, fuck! Ei tommosia. Ei granaattia! No! Missä? Onko se läpinäkyvä? What? Se ei vaan olemassa. Siinä. No niin! Maistakaa omatta lääkettä saada. Ai saa. Fuck you, man. No missä tää yksi herra nyt on? Siinä. No. Onko mä käyttää tätä niinkö? I think I have a perfect tool for this. Meni. Jehee. Mitä vittua, ei tuu. Muistan, kun mulla joskus oli semmonen kaveri. Tää on enemmänkin luokkakaveri vaan, niin joka pelasi GTA:ta. Välillä pelasin sen kanssa ja kaikkea tällaista. Niin, siis se oli sellainen, niin että se oli sellainen wannabe tryhardi. Mä en vaan ymmärrä sitä, kun ei siinä voi olla mitään hauskaa. Siis se oli sellainen, niin että aina jos oli vaikka leikkimielistä sellaista 1v1, niin tapettiin toisiamme. Niin aina, jos se tajusi, että mä meinaan tappaa sen, niin se kirjaimellisesti aina räjäytti itsensä. Ihan joka vitun kerta. Mä haluaisin vaan katsoa, mutta mä en ymmärrä, mikä siinä on niin hauskaa.
Infiltration successful.
Niin. Mä lataan sitä RDR2 sen takia... saatana. Sen takia, kun mä mietin, siis se itse pelissä siinä ei ole niinku mitään vitun tekemistä oikeesti. Ihan oikeesti, sä vaan vittu rämpitä täksää ja minä vaan nyt ratsastan paikasta paikkaan. Ei, mä mietin, että mä aion niinku roolipelata, mä aion olla ihan vitun hirveä siinä, tiedätkö? Mä aion tappaa ihan vitusti kaikkea niinku viattomia, tiedätkö? niinku, mä oon niinku grindata sillä, että mä saan tehtyä itselleni sen ihan vitun niinku, ei nyt ehkä edikyn, mutta you know, kaikki musta outfitti tai sellainen niinku ihan vitun sellainen pahis meininki. Ja sit mä meinaan varmaan myyn vaan moonshinea, ja sit mä vaan tapaan ihmisiä muuten. Niinku, että that's it. Mä vaan rahoitan mun sotaa ihmiskuntaa vastaan moonshinin myymisellä. Ja mä mietin, että mä voisin aloittaa se taavikosta, ja mä vaan tapan kaikki, mä vaan tapan kaikki. Siellä on se vitun tumbleweed. Mä menen sinne, ja mä vaan ammun kaikki. Mä ammun ihan kaikki. On vaan sellainen olo, tiedätkö? Mä vaan haluun, se on mood, haluun vaan ampua kaikki. Se on niinku... Se tulee olemaan ihan vitu hauska.
Of the vocal cord parasites goes back approximately 300 million years to the Permian period. At that time, they were not even parasites, but predatory autotrophs. They are believed to have been the common ancestor to the Pentastomida and the Cyclops genus of copepods. However, Earth's environment underwent a violent change at the end of the Permian period. The cause is unclear, but evidence suggests that over 90% of the Earth's organisms at that time died out. The most pronounced threat to the protoparasites was the severe reduction in oxygen concentration. The result was cladogenesis, a splitting that gave birth to a new strain that could parasitize other organisms' respiratory apparatus. This survival tactic helped lower their oxygen consumption, and inhabiting the throat kept them securely in contact with inhaled air. The best survivors were those that parasitized the reptiles that flourished at the time. Entering the Triassic period, the reptiles evolved into dinosaurs, and the protoparasites shared in their success. Dinosaurs developed respiratory organs called air sacs to adapt to the low oxygen environment. These in particular helped the protoparasites thrive. But another trial awaited them. The end of the Triassic period saw another drastic change in the Earth's environment. For most parasites, the male and female take the same host. Many are, in fact, hermaphrodites. Originally, the vocal cord parasites were as well. But for any strain to ride out a severe environmental change, it must secure a steady pool of genetic diversity. Another split. Now the newest strain procreated with mates found in other hosts. And in order to increase its encounters with those mates, the new strain utilized the voice of its host. They came to inhabit the host's vocal cords. This truly was the birth of the vocal cord parasite. The parasites developed the host's pharynx to form resonating chambers and used them to produce sophisticated mating calls. The relatively upright posture of the dinosaurs was important in this, because the crooked L-shaped pharynx was more suited to the development of resonating chambers. These developments ushered in a time of great prosperity for the parasites. But for the third time, the parasites had a major hurdle to overcome. The meteorite impact at the end of the Cretaceous period, which spelled the end of the dinosaurs. With their hosts extinct, the vocal cord parasites had no option but to find a new habitat. Birds. As genetic successors to the dinosaurs, with functioning air sac apparatus already in place, birds were the perfect choice. But the parasites could not survive in birds that flew at high altitudes with thinner air. So they parasitized ground-dwelling birds and altered their respiratory system for the sake of reproduction. They gave the birds the means to produce sophisticated sounds. The syrinx responsible for chirping, This is the proof that points to activation of FOXP2 in songbirds as well as humans. The Cenozoic era began with a rise in oxygen concentration, which helped mammals to evolve and increase in size. The parasites then shifted to humans as a more effective host. Humans' bipedal upright walking meant that our throats could support larger resonating chambers. At first, vocal cord parasites entered humans using birds as their intermediate host. But eventually they changed to conducting their entire life cycle within human hosts. What happened next is as I have already described. People took the vocalizing prowess given them by the parasites and made it language. And once the parasites could no longer use it as their mating call, they died out. Or in other words, the parasites overcame all evolutionary hurdles except humanity. Skullface shared his opinion on this matter. He said the Ethnic Cleansers Project was sure to succeed. After all, the parasites had a grudge against us humans. To think we awoke them after such a long slumber, just so they could sate their thirst for vengeance. It is terrible, unforgivable, and yet it is what I have done. I learned of the vocal cord parasite's existence in literature belonging to the Foundation. It was little more than a theory. The question was, why does only Homo sapiens among all primates have highly developed language? Human versus everything else. The missing link between these was the mystery that gave rise to this theory. I was fascinated by the idea of their existence. In the Dene creation myth, the Neo Dene, who first inhabited the world, were insect-like creatures. I came to imagine that those insect-like creatures could be humans living in symbiosis with the vocal cord parasites. But I had not the faintest idea of how I could resurrect them. That is when Skullface came to me. What he offered me was not just assistance with my metallic archaea research. He told me the vocal cord parasites really existed. And not only did they exist, they had already been brought back to life in the modern age. An ancient human cadaver, host to the parasites of the time. Cypher excavated such a cadaver from a permafrost region and isolated the DNA coding of the vocal cord parasites. Naturally, they were long dead and could not be brought back, but there was an alternate vessel they could use. A relative species of the Pentastomida discovered in China. It had adapted to live in the nasal cavity of animal hosts, but its genetic sequence showed signs of common ancestry with the vocal cord parasites. Ontogenesis, the path of an organism to maturity, is like a roadmap of the phylogenetic evolution of the entire strain. Cypher used this to effect a reverse evolution of the modern parasite and resurrect the vocal cord parasites. They interposed a developmental mechanism to the ontogenetic stage analogous to when the relative species first appeared, the point at which it split from the vocal cord parasites, forcing its evolution down the other path, the vocal cord parasite path. The larvae is produced by the vocal cord parasites, reborn. I do not know in detail how Cypher accomplished this, but clearly they have access to high-level genetic technologies. Skullface said it was the work of a genius woman scientist, and that the relative species in question was first discovered by a group once called the Philosophers. I was tasked
Lore.
to find the resurrected parasites. He charged me with 2 demands. First, to add lethality to these organisms that had once lived in peace with man, by unleashing the larvae's latent desire to consume nutrients from the host's lung tissue, making them eat and eat until the lungs were destroyed. Second, to have both male and female inhabit the same host and copulate then and there only when exposed to specific pronunciations continuously over an extended time. What he would do to the Dene if I failed. I had no choice. Originally, the ultimate objective of the ethnic cleansing parasite project was the identification of not only languages, but of actual cultures. Language is deeply connected to ethnicity, but many languages are employed by multiple ethnic groups, and confrontation between those ethnic groups is by no means rare. If the cleanser parasites were to be a deterrent against ethnic conflict, they had to distinguish between groups using means other than pure language. The original plan called for this to be achieved by differences in the transmission vector. Each ethnic group has different lifestyle customs and eating habits. For instance, parasites living in shallow water and taken in through the skin could be used to target rice farming groups, or parasites using cows as their intermediate host would be ineffective against cultures that abstain from eating beef. But that is a lofty goal indeed. The current parasites mainly rely on droplet transmission. It would take extensive time to alter the transmission route. I eventually learned that the Ethnic Cleansers project had been shut down. It was Skullface who put it back into operation. But despite that, he told me to forget about the transmission route and just focus on language identification. I do not know why. I understand that the Chinese philosophers who discovered the relative species of parasite originally planned to develop a phonogrammic Alexia parasite. The left temporal parietal region is home to the part of the brain that identifies the phonetic symbols of the English language. They wished to create a strain that would parasitize that region and suppress its literacy functions. The brain area responsible for identifying the logographs of Chinese, meanwhile, is in the left middle frontal gyrus, meaning that even if native speakers of Chinese were infected with the parasite, the literacy would be unaffected. Old and new, east and west, there is no limit to the delusions of those in power. But this delusion threatens to become a reality. I have to do something to stop this. There must be something I can do.
Sellaista lorepätkää siitä. Mikä täällä on erilainen? Miks tää on näin paljon korkeampi? Outoa. Miks tää on näin korkeana, mut nää muut ei oo? No.
It appears I was looking at things wrong.
What do you mean?
All of you. Until now, I had thought of your organization, Diamond Dogs, as a superorganism.
You'll have to explain that one.
The term refers to a unit of eusocial insects like ants or bees. While made up of many individuals, they behave as though they are one organism, with the queen as their nerve center. The close ties you share here reminded me of that.
Well, the boss's efforts do pull us all together.
I was not finished. I'm speaking in terms of homogeneity. You come from all walks of life, do you not? Many races and tongues, talents and pasts, complementing each other, influencing each other, making Diamond Dogs the unique group that it is.
Of course. We have no use for mindless drones around here.
Is that so? Then perhaps an organization like yours is a truer superorganism than the ants and bees.
Meaning?
Most organisms adapt to their environment by coexisting with other species. Take the cow, for instance. Its rumen, the first stomach, contains an incredible number of bacteria, which digest the food it has consumed. Without their help, the cow could not break down the fiber in grasses. The cow has to outsource its means of survival to them.
You don't say.
Man is the same. Some 100 trillion bacteria live inside the human intestines. Without the bacteria, they could not function properly. And it does not stop there. The stomach, the mouth, the skin, even the placenta contains bacteria that coexist with us. The same is true of parasites. In fact, the human immune system has evolved based on parasites being a part of it. Without them, the immune system can run amok and even damage other parts of the body.
This is all very interesting, but what does it have to do with Diamond Dogs?
A harmonious superorganism is made up not of a group of homogeneous individuals, but of diverse individuals that complement each other. That is what I saw in your group here. Then it occurred to me that man is a superorganism. Man's phenotype is not determined solely by his genetics. Some say if you mapped the genomes of all bacteria in the human body, the result would be over 100 times bigger than the human genome. The sum of man's genome and those of the organisms he coexists with, call it a metagenome, creates the superorganism we know as a human being.
Well, now that's quite a leap.
You think so? Then try a broader perspective. If our world were a human body, you would be parasites. You make a living by doing the dirty work that the world powers cannot handle themselves. From their perspective, you are likely a nuisance. But without you, pus would build up around the world, and autotoxemia, self-poisoning, would follow. The world needs your kind.
Thank goodness for that.
Skull-faced forced me to turn parasites into weapons. Creatures with which we are supposed to coexist. Meanwhile, that foundation, I worked with focus solely on the human genome, apparently thinking that manipulating it would get them whatever new form they want. Both ways are mistakes. Neither is a true superorganism. I am Dine. By speaking with those living inside me, we enhance one another and enjoy harmonious growth. Such was the original purpose of my research. You have made me remember this.
Well, it's an honor. You can travel the world, but you won't find another place like this. If the whole world was like this base, I think the peoples of the world would bid farewell to fighting for good. Maybe that's what the boss wanted in the end.
Nää Ghost Stalkerin höpinät meni ihan ohi nyt mulla. Keskityy muihin asioihin samalla. Koitetaan. Varmaan menee happeen perästä koko vitun tehtävä, mutta katsotaan.
is to eliminate as many enemy combat vehicles as you can. For this mission, we're backup for the guerrillas' offensive. That means our mission isn't over until theirs is. Keep an eye on the remaining time. Also bear in mind that you'll fail the mission if you don't take out a single vehicle. As for payment, the more vehicles, the bigger our paycheck. So give them a real fireworks show. Check the target's locations on your map. Once you've spotted incoming reinforcements, their location will be added to your iDroid too.
Okei, ne kaikki menee tonne suuntaan. Mä laitan sen niinku tonne, että mä näen about sen suunnan, mihin ne on menossa. Okei, tonne. Hakiaan se sen.
Alright, target extracted. Sorry, Reds. It belongs to Diamond Dogs now.
Boss, we spotted a four-wheel drive transporting a prisoner. It's not part of the mission. Do you think you can bust him loose? Just if you have the time to spare.
You've got other targets closing in. You can check their predicted route on your iDroid.
Ai niin joo, mä en ehkä laittaa vitu prisoner kuolee noin siinä.
Subject is in.
I wanna test out some mines.
Target extraction confirmed. That's cut down the enemy mechanized unit's force strength. Boss, need a little extra firepower? We spotted a Soviet weapons transport truck. Apparently its cargo is something pretty powerful. What do you think? Should we make them share? Tread carefully, boss. Boss, that's incredible. You're taking them out faster than they can come in. The guerrillas operation is going smoothly too. Keep it up.
Where are your friends?
Sorry, Reds. It belongs to Diamond Dogs now. Boss, we have new targets. Check your iDroid for the details.
Mikä se on? Aika se on kuollut.
Offensive will be ending soon. Boss, you still at it? Keep going. This is the stuff legends are made of.
Where are the others?
One target left.
Ja miinoin.
Remaining.
Joo joo. Kato, there we go. No, no operation. Tuohan kestää. Mene vaan sinne. Siellä on miinakenttä. Gauntletti sulla. Joko tyssää? Kulkeeko vielä? Tais tyssä tänne. Kyllä sä otti. Kyllä se hittiä. Joo joo.
Target extraction confirmed. That's cut down the enemy mechanized unit's force strength. All targets eliminated. Boss, you were like a man possessed. The guerrillas' offensive is still in progress, but our work here is done. Exfiltrate the mission area.
Where are your friends?
Damn it. Soviet reinforcements incoming. Tanks and a gunship. And you're the target. Looks like we pushed the Soviets a little too far. Boss, those Soviets are a threat to the guerrillas. You can bet there'd be a bonus in it if you take them out. That said, the mission objectives are complete, so you can leave the area if you want. Your choice, boss.
Mistä ne tulee? No mulla ei tää. Katsotaan kestääkö gunshipi tätä. Tämä on aikamoinen tää vito.
That's an enemy gunship. A single burst from his machine gun can cut him in half. Tread carefully, boss.
ei ollut chance.
That should enable you to sneak past enemies. Great work, boss. The gunship is down. That should add a little extra to our paycheck.
Eiköhän tää miinoissa? Ei oo vielä. Kyllä kohta on. Täällä on kyllä niin paljon näitä miinoja, että ei kyllä selviä tästä niinku eteen. Miinat on helppo tapa pysäyttää panssarivaunuja, jos sä vaan tiedät mistä ne tulee. Good old telamiina. En ole tehnyt. Joo, se on hakeekin tuolta. Onko hakee? Onko hakee? Katso jos me tiellä. I wanna watch the firework go off. Joo. Kohta pamahtaa. Nyt on EM. Joo, ei pama. Ei. Ei. Loppuuko se EM vai oot sä jumissa vieläkin? Sinä olet minun. Moikka.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
En mä periaatteessa tähän niinku mitään. Mä väärittää, kun mä vissiin missasin nyt ne... No, mä vaan tulin pelaa tätä missionia vaan niiden spesialistien takia. Mä tarviin niitä. Mut kun mä tajun, että nehän voi olla noita sotilaita. Mä just ajattelin, että ne on vankeja. Ei täällä varmaan niitä vankeja oo. Täällä vankeja. Prisoners, you here? Ei taida olla vankeja. Jep, heikolta näyttää. No kyllä kestää pitkään näin. Jesus, nää kestää. Siis... No toi vissiin se tulos tämmönen niinkö? Joo, ei se ei tuu. Joo, en mä tota saa kiinni enää. Mä luulen, että se tulee niinku tänne minun kimppuun. Koska näin tämä sanoi tämä. Oselot vaan Miller kumpitaan nyt on. Hei, toi on se karku. Where are you going? Hei! Tyyppi! Oikeesti juoksee karkuun. No ajaa karkuun. Vittu mikä se. En mä taju mitä vittua toi tekee. Oi vittu. Fuck. Fuck up. Ai paska. I'm too fast for ya. Too fast! Pathfinding ajaa. Kyllä vähän hassun näköistä toi meininki. Hei, siinä on mun miina. Aika hyvin ajoi toi. Hienoa. Mä Tää tällaisen ovelan tempun vaan, et sulle tuolla harmin paikka. Sä oot sokea, sä et näe näitä salamoita jotenkin. Niin, ole hyvä. Ei! Ei, ei, ei! Hei, ei, ei, ei. Ei, mitä? Eteenpäin, aja. Drive forward! Ja mun kannattaa liikkua tästä. Mitä? Et sä näe vaan! Voi vit...
Snake, talk to me!
Voi
Snake!
vit... Niin mistä tää nyt alkaa? Alkaako tää alusta? Aha. Okei. No. Vähän outoa, mut selkeä. Ei, mitä? Perse.
Extraction confirmed. That's cut down the enemy mechanized unit's force strength. Boss, we have information on new targets. Check your iDroid for their predicted route. Extracted. Sorry, Reds. It belongs to Diamond Dogs now.
Boss, we spotted a four-wheel drive transporting a prisoner. It's not part of the mission. Do you think you can bust him loose? Just if you have the time to spare.
Other targets closing in. You can check their predicted route on your iDroid. Okay, subject is in. Target extraction confirmed. That's cut down the enemy mechanized. Boss, that's incredible. You're taking them out faster than they can come in. The guerrillas operation is going smoothly, too. Keep it up.
Boss, need a little extra firepower? We spotted a Soviet weapons transport truck. Apparently, its cargo is something pretty powerful. What do you think? Should we make them share? Tread carefully, boss.
Where are the others?
339. Поиск закончен.
Что случилось? Ответьте 339.
Какого?
Hands up.
Я не хочу умирать!
Это КП, понял. Последующие потери
On the
неприемлемы.
ground.
Держите ухо востро. Конец связи.
Where are your friends? Spit it out. Hands up.
Делай этого!
Spit it out.
The guerrillas' offensive will be ending soon. Boss, there's still time left. All right, target extracted. Sorry, Reds. It belongs to Diamond Dogs now. Boss, we have new targets. Check your iDroid for the details.
Meinaatko vielä ajaa eteenpäin? Kolmas miina. Olisiko mitään?
1 minute remaining. What's wrong with you? Move!
Mitä vittua sä mulle puhut?
Target extraction confirmed. That's cut down the enemy mechanized unit's force strength. All targets eliminated. Boss, you were like a man possessed. The guerrillas' offensive is still in progress, but our work here is done. Exfiltrate the mission area. Damn it. Soviet reinforcements incoming. Tanks and a gunship. And you're the target. Looks like we pushed the Soviets a little too far. Boss, those Soviets are a threat to the guerrillas. You can bet there'd be a bonus in it if you take them out. That said, the mission objectives are complete, so you can leave the area if you want. Your choice, boss. That's an enemy gunship. A single burst from his machine gun can cut a man in half. Tread carefully, boss. Great work, boss. The gunship is down. That should add a little extra to our paycheck.
No vittu.
Snake, talk to me! Snake!
Joo. No näistä ihan vitummasta juoksemista tää koko tehty. Ai vittu, se räjähtää. Oi vittu, kaikki tuo juokseminen uudestaan. Tää on ihan vitun ärsyttävää. Joo joo. Jumalauta. Alkaa vituttaa.
However, you'll fail the mission if you don't take out any at all. Boss, each vehicle is a piggy bank just waiting to be smashed. Get as many as you can.
intel team. The targets are now on the move. I've sent their predicted route to your iDroid. Check your map. Target extraction confirmed. That's cut down the enemy mechanized unit's force strength. Boss, we have information on new targets. Check your iDroid for their predicted route. Sorry, Reds. It belongs to Diamond Dogs now.
Boss, we spotted a four-wheel drive transporting a prisoner. It's not part of the mission. Do you think you can bust him loose? Just if you have the time to spare. other targets closing in. You can check their predicted route on your iDroid. Team. The targets are now on the move. I sent their predicted route to your iDroid. Check your map.
Help me!
Okay, subject is in. Target extraction confirmed. That's cut down the enemy mechanized unit's force strength. Boss, need a little extra firepower? We spotted a Soviet weapons transport truck. Apparently its cargo is something pretty powerful. What do you think? Should we make them share? Tread carefully, boss. Offensive will be ending soon. Boss, there's still time left. Take out as many vehicles as you can. Sorry, Reds. It belongs to Diamond Dogs now. Boss, we have new targets. Check your iDroid for the details. Remaining.
organized unit's force strength. All targets eliminated. Boss, you were like a man possessed. The guerrillas' offensive is still in progress, but our work here is done. Exfiltrate the mission area. Damn it. Soviet reinforcements incoming. Tanks and a gunship. And you're the target. Looks like we pushed the Soviets a little too far. Boss, those Soviets are a threat to the guerrillas. You can bet there'd be a bonus in it if you take them out. That said, the mission objectives are complete, so you can leave the area if you want. Your choice, boss.
Ne vittu tappa sen saatanan vanki. Ne liian hidas näköinen.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Oh fucking hell. Mitä vittua? Okei. No ei sit vittu. Tää on niin vitun random toi tankki. Mä en ymmärrä mitä se ikinä tekee niin. Se vaan niinku ajaa jonnekin muualle. Nyt se taas tulee takaa. Mitä vittua? Mä vaan haluan, että toi tuhlataan.
from its machine gun could cut a man in half. Tread carefully, boss.
No niin, come on, man.
Fire.
Gunship is down. That should add a little extra to our paycheck.
Jesus, what? Mitä? Mistä se tiesi, että mä olin tossa?
Snake, talk to me! Snake!
Wow. Sniperi ampuu vuoren päätä jonkun vitun guardin, ne yhtäkkiä pinpointtaa mun locationin. Sounds about not fucking right. Vittu oikeesti. Tämä on perseestä. No. Mikä vittu siinä? Mitä? Noniin. Helvetti. Vittu, että on kyllä vaikeet. Aina niinku vitun missionin lopussa alkaa menee niinku päin persettä. Joka vitun kertaa. Se on aina tossa lopussa. Kaikki menee vittu nappiin, mut sitten se on se yksi tankki, joka vittu ampuu mua kerran ja mä kuolen. No miten ne tietää aina, että just missä mä oon? Vittu sniperi ampuu niinku 50 metrin päässä poissa mun niinku locationista. Ja sit se yhtäkkiä sille, tuolla se ryömii vittu puskan alla se maajoukkue. Vittu ihan sama, että mä menen huutaa. Tai niinku, siis ihan sama juttu, että mä soitan vaikka mun kaverille. Ja mä sanon sille, että huutaa Jeriko. Niinku ihan täysin, menee vaan parvekkeelle ja huutaa Jeriko. Ihan sama logiikka, että kaikki jotka kuulee, että se huutaa Jeriko, että ne tietäis missä minä olen yhtäkkiä. Siis ei tossa oo niinku mitään järkeä. Tossa on varmaan vaan jotain laiskaa niinku koodaamista ollut, että ne ei oo jaksanut tehdä erikseen sellaista vittu mahdollisuutta, että if quiet shoots and gets detected, do not notice snake, but only niin, Snake false ja Quiet true vittu, en mä vittu tiedä, ihan perseestä. Bullshittiä. Ihan bullshittiä. Mä ymmärrän miten mä oon päässyt ton läpi ilman Raidenia SL, siis oikeesti, se on niinku... Mulla on ollut varmaan panssarivaunu muuten. Mulla on muuten ollut panssarivaunu ihan sale, mä oon sale käyttänyt panssarivaunua ite tossa tehtävässä. Mä en keksi mitään muuta. Sale, mä oon käyttänyt panssarivaunua, sellaista nopeeta panssarivaunua, missä se kunnon tykki. Sellainen tank destroyeri vittu. Mä oon sitä käyttänyt, joo. Tiedätkö, kun mä tykkään aina hoardata noita vittun tankkeja, mutta mulla on jo hyvä metodi siihen. Tää missio ei ole se. Se on se, mä pelaan aina Quiet Exitin. Mulla on Skull Parasite Armorit päällä. Niin ne ei tee mulle mitään, mä vaan otan ne kaikki vitun vaunut sieltä. Kaikki panssarivaunut. Ja niitä tulee pari. Mä saan aina niitä vaunuja kyllä, mutta... No se haluan nyt ehkä samalla tässä ottaa vähän ekstraa tässä tehtävän aikana, mutta nyt mä oon convinced, että mä kyllä... Musta tuntuu, että mä vaan vittu tuhoan noi kaikki vittu vaunut. Mä vaan miinotan sen yhden tien. Hoitelen sen vitun... Prisonerin. Että se ei kuole niihin miinoihin. Mä pistän sinne EM:n. EMN-miinan. Ja Niin. Niin joo. Ja sit mä ihan vitun varovasti tuhoan ne loput panssarivaunut. Kun shippi kuolee yhdestä, ja sit mun pitää pelastaa se vitun prisoneri. Niin mä juoksen ihan saatanan nopeasti sinne. Mä miinotan sen vittu lopputien, mihin ne kaikki panssarivaunut tulee. Ja sit mä laitan sinne päätyy sen yhden EMN-miinan. Että se prisoner-auto ei mene niihin miinoihin. Ja sit mä juoksen suoraan sinne vitun sinne saatana, missä ne etsii sitä yhtä prisoneria, koska musta tuntuu, että sillä on se specialize juttu. Silloin se ihme ability, kun mä koitan saada, kun mä voin developpaa tiettyjä asioita, kun mulla ei ole niitä eksperttejä. En tiedä, onks mä puhunut? En mä vittu oo puhunut täällä YouTube-kanavalla mitään siitä. Siis mä oon nyt miettimässä, että mä varmaan käytän ihan vitunmoisen summan rahaa Airsoftiin. Siis niinkun... Mä oon niinku pelaillut sitä paskoilla kamoilla. Ja se on hauskaa. Se on niinku sporttailua vielä samalla. Siis se on oikeesti, se on kivaa.
However, you'll fail the mission if you don't take out any at all. Boss, each vehicle is a piggy bank just waiting to be smashed. Get as many as you can.
Fire at will. Ceasefire.
Team. The targets are now on the move. I've sent their predicted route to your iDroid. Check your map. Check your iDroid for their predicted route.
drive transporting a prisoner. It's not part of the mission. Do you think you can bust them loose? Just if you have the time to spare.
Kybernetic Specialist! Fuck yeah!
Okay, subject is in.
Ansaat sitten, saatana. Vittu oli... No okei, no ei välttämättä ansainnut, se oli vaan niitten käskyt, että tappakaa ne vitu vaan. Anyway, no se on nyt tehty, se kuoli. Ja mennään sitä takas tappelemaan tankkeja vasta.
Offensive will be ending soon. Boss, there's still time left. Take out as many vehicles as you can. You've got other targets closing in. You can check their predicted route on your iDroid.
КП, это 234. Посмотрел. Ничего не нашел. Прием. Это КП. Понял. Держись на пост. Прием.
Remaining. Target extraction confirmed. That's cut down the enemy mechanized unit's force strength. Boss, need a little extra firepower? We spotted a Soviet weapons transport truck. Apparently its cargo is something pretty powerful. We think, should we make them share? Tread carefully, boss. Targets are almost history. Boss, we have new targets. Check your iDroid for the details. One minute remaining. What's wrong with you? Move!
Huono dialogi. Mä oon tappanut ihan kaikki. Sit sanoo, what's wrong with you? Shut the fuck up, tuu ite tekee. Pelastin vielä vittu Kybernetic Specialistin tässä samalla. Eikä ollut mitään vitu inteliä siitäkään. Saatana. Vittu. Niin. En kyllä varmaan ehdi tuhota näin. Nää vieläkin pommittaa tätä aluetta. Mä oon käynyt jo vittu vankilassa tappamassa teidän kavereita, kun te ootte täällä tapella ilmaa. En mä kyllä ei, ne on, en mä ehdi tuhota noin. Ei, en ehdi. Meni tiukoille. En ehdi.
And our mission is complete. Time to fall back. Leave the hot zone as soon as you can.
Nah. Mitä ne ei tuhota?
Nice work.
vittu. Tää on vähän huono. Hetkinen, vai tuleeko ne enää? Vittu niin, ne ei varmaan tuu, kun mä en... Niin. Me pitää tuhota kaikki, että se tulee se Apache. No jaa. Käytin tää on turhaa nyt. Voi vittu, tää ei edes ollut se tankki. No vittu. Turhaa tilasin noin supliet. Vittu. Noin. Ainakin mä sain sen vitun Kybernetic-spesialistin. Katsotaan kun vitun pitkään on pitää juosta pois. Aika pitkään pitää juosta. No, pidetään nyt hauskaa, kun mennään ostettiin näitä supleja. Niin oliko se, että näin pysty piilautumaan? Ei. No sitten vähän... Se on mor...
That's it. You've made it out of the hot zone. No sign of the enemy. Mission complete, boss.
Vittu vihti.
Mission complete. Great work.
Ei kiinnosta ellei S+. S++ on priimaa, mut niinku minimi minkä mä nykyään haluan ottaa on S+. Varmaan muuten nuudelit valmiit. Laitoin ne valmistumaan ennen kuin mä menin tekemään tätä tehtävää. Siitä asti. Oliko siitä asti? Taisi olla parin ton failin jälkeen, niin sit mä pistin nää. Ainakin on imennyt kaiken nesteen itteensä. Hehehe. Tästä voisi tehdä vaikka mitä likaisia vitsejä vittu toista sanosta. No niin. Vittu. Minä haluan syödä. Kuunnellaan vähän kasetteja lisää. Tää on niinku yllättävän paljon lorea näissä. Se on halvempaa ääninäytellä kuin ääninäytellä ja animoida.
Skullface has finally burned out. The world is rid of his existence at last.
Was he still alive?
You could say that. But you could also say he'd been dead for decades.
What's that supposed to mean?
Biologically speaking, it's hard to say how much was his life.
Side effects from the treatment?
No, the primary effect. Keeping a dying host alive as long as possible. That is the whole point. But in the end, he grew too dependent on his children. As if he had any other way to keep on living. He first underwent parasite therapy before the Soviet Union became his home. His body was horribly burned. Fire washed across his thin young frame and stole his skin and his throat, even his lungs. Only through repeated therapies could the parasites keep him alive. Most of his life became something the parasites gave to him.
And then he lost the ability to die.
That is correct. The parasites live on past the host's death, still aiding cell composition. At that stage, there is no way to extract them from the host cells. There is no way of knowing when the last cell of Skullface's body would die. The only choice was to burn the whole thing. And his children, along with it. And I am one to talk. When my life is snuffed out, I expect you to treat my body the same way. And when I burn, I will truly be one with my children for the first time. You say there were 3 English vocal parasites.
According to Skullface, yeah.
Skullface had 2 of the English strain with him. You burned both of them.
There was an oil fire. I tossed him in.
So that just leaves 1. And you tell me Skullface said he used it.
He said it was very close to me.
Very close. One of your comrades. Or someone ordered to kill you. Or he could have been speaking metaphorically.
Metaphorically?
Close to your spirit. Close to your heart. Someone who either loves you or despises you.
The second one. Makes a long list.
Whichever it is, act with caution. Skullface implanted someone with the English language strain. Who it is irrelevant.
Why?
I tell you what Skullface really meant. Very close to you means you will be exposed. All the infected here have been given the Wolbachia. Even if the vocal cord parasites infect them now, they cannot reproduce. But if there's a different host among us, host to the English strain.
If that were the case, we'd see the symptoms.
What about the non-English speakers?
We have plenty of those, but the staff use English as a common language.
But if that someone has not spoken English yet, and begins to speak it now,
there'd be another outbreak.
The final mating pair of the English strain must be found immediately. Skullface is gone, but his threat still remains. On this base, do you see what the final mating pair is? With him dead, those parasites are the stain he wished to leave upon the world. His thirst for vengeance. In their flesh. think. Does anyone here bear a grudge against you? Who would target you, specifically?
The ethnic cleansers that Code Talker mentioned, they weren't Skullface's true goal. All we have is circumstantial evidence, but here's my theory. It was Cypher who started developing the vocal cord parasites as bioweapons, parasitic weapons, and Africa was the testing ground for them. As Code Talker said, their purpose is the ethnic cleansing of only those who speak a particular language. So they could do a weapon of mass destruction to eradicate specific groups, races, ethnicities, or colonies by the language they speak. Or a kind of absolute language control. Or maybe a tool for those arrogant fools to build some misguided utopia. I can see plenty of uses for them. However, in practical terms, they wouldn't be as dangerous as you think. Counteracting the parasites is easy, after all. Cut them out of your throat to save your life, or just don't talk. That also prevents the infection from spreading. So if the international community were to find out about them, they'd no longer be the threat they were conceived to be. In which case, their targets would be limited to minority groups, as a deterrent or a terrorist tool. It's hard to imagine Cypher developing something like that as a main weapon for their arsenal. That leads me to think we've only tugged on one little thread in Cypher's grand tapestry. An obscure corner of their work, possibly forgotten altogether. In any case, things changed. When Skullface was forced to relocate to Africa and he saw that thread dangling. All the time he continued that research, he was secretly following his own agenda. The ethnic liberator parasites. His English language strain. Skullface said there were only 3 samples of the English language strain parasite, and I think we can believe him. Bringing his ethnic liberator's plan to fruition depended on creating an English version of the vocal cord parasites at all costs. But an English strain would have been useless to Cypher. Worse, it could have destroyed everything they'd built. It was the one type they couldn't allow. That means Skullface was forced to develop his English strain out of sight of Cypher's network. Naturally, he couldn't use the greenhouse facility Cypher had set up and filled with guinea pigs. Skullface must have found some secret place to create his precious few English parasites, hiding all evidence like a man cheating on his wife. Somewhere, an entirely standalone environment. And when his plan entered its final phase, he must have made the place disappear. Some little room, could be anywhere, but now nowhere at all. We'll never know where he did it, but to elude Cypher's surveillance, it couldn't have been big. I believe Skullface was telling the truth. There were only ever 3 samples of the English language strain. Why activate Sahelanthropus in Afghanistan? This is how Skullface wanted things to play out. The Soviet Union secretly develops a new type of nuclear weapon and successfully deploys it in Afghanistan. Revealing the existence of Sahelanthropus results in a return to the glory days of the Cold War. The threat it poses reignites the nuclear arms race between the world's major powers. The demand for nuclear weapons increases around the globe. This then introduced a nuclear weapon anyone could get their hands on. Non-nuclear nations, militant groups of all shapes and sizes, they all jump at the chance. Sahelanthropus was a marketing tool to sell nukes all around the world. But I think it's safe to say that plan was stamped out before it got up and running. The world's intelligence agencies never did turn up anything conclusive on it. After all, Sahelanthropus vanished before word could spread. Everything that's happened is already a fading memory, never to join the pages of history. Except for Cypher. Cypher won't forget. They'll already be working on something quiet beneath the surface. They'll use the pieces of data scraped together from this incident to build their own bipedal weapon. It'll take them a long time to complete it, but for now, the greed sector have found their new life's work. We'll have to be ready too.
Interesting. Interesting. Da-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Haibar, ekes. Multa sammu headsetin akku. Nää ei enää niinku oo yhtä jotenkin... Nää ei tunnu niinku, että nää on yhtä niinku... Et näis tää akkun kesto on tosi niinku... Alemmassa tasosta. Haibar, ekes. Mulla on Kybernetics Specialist. Minulla on Kybernetics Specialist ihan vaan by the way. Ehkä se on Brigis, sen takia sitä ei näe vielä. Mä veikkaan, että se on Brigis. Okei. No sit mä alan miettimään, että mitä vittua, koska mulla on Kybernetics Specialist. Joo, okei. Niin, en mä niinku just vittu äsken, en extractannut sitä. Joo, okei. Cool. Perseestä tommonen. Oi, vittu. Tuo on perseestä. En muka saanut sitä Kybernetics Specialist. Eli mä pelasin tätä Extreme ihan turha. Okei, joo.
Hewitt's dug up some interesting facts about our skull-faced friend. 9 years ago, he was exiled to South Africa, stripped of political power. The upshot's that he ceased being a serious threat, in Cypher's eyes anyway. They eased up on surveillance, giving him an opening to establish his own military unit, one that answered to his will alone. Those men likely had no idea their orders were coming from Skullface. They probably didn't even know the organization was a part of Cypher at all. Anyway, it was in South Africa where he found renewed interest in parasites. And when he discovered the vocal cord parasites, he began to make his plan. Wipe the English language out of existence. Free the world, not by taking men's lives, but by taking their tongues. In his eyes, the greatest symbiotic parasite the world's ever known isn't microbial. It's linguistic. Words are what keeps civilization, our world, alive.
There was something Skullface said. America is made up of many peoples, but those peoples never mix. Quite so. One nation, home to hundreds of different ethnic groups, many of whom stick to their respective living areas. Little colonies, not interacting with other groups, going out of their way to avoid one another. Their land, organizations, relationships. Thus, the United States of America is no melting pot. It is more of a salad bowl. It is not made up from one people, but for its minorities to function in society, a common ground is needed. Language. Even if the country is not one. No, because it's not one, a lingua franca is necessary. English. American hegemonism was born from the illusion that English could unite diverse ethnicities. In taking in people from around the globe, America became a microcosm of it. Now the boundaries between it and the rest of the world have become blurred. However different our neighbors may be, English enables us to create symbiotic relationships with each other. If English can bring unacquainted neighbors together in America, this should hold true for the world. This salad bowl that is the world can also become one.
No niin, no se oli striimi siinä, moikka!